Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Financially Forever After. We are your hosts, Lindsey and
Brett the Moneymaker Shunkwiler.
here to give you some advice on relationship and love, as well as
Financial tips.
financial tips. And we have a guest on the show today. Who do we have here?
I'm Lexi. I am one of Brett's employees.
All right. And Lexi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am in college. I'm a college student working part-time for Brett right now. I kind of just help out with on the office, client stuff, assisting stuff, all the above. It's more of an internship, just trying to learn the finance world and the industry, get myself out there in some way. But yeah, I'm a finance major. It's my senior year, so I'm almost done.
Yay.
I have about a year left, and then I'll be done with school, which is super exciting. Outside of that, I am very involved with ministry groups, and I'm very active. I love to be outside and be with pets and animals, and I do quite a bit. I'm a very busy person, but I love it. It's a good problem to have, is what I say.
Yes.
But we love having you, Lex.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
I love that you
appreciate it.
mentioned pets because that might come into play here in a little bit of the episode today. So, well, Lexi obviously is well-versed in this podcast. She's watched many episodes, so she kind of has an idea of what's going to happen, but we kind of just talk about what's going on in our lives and things that are exciting. So do you have anything exciting now that you're back in school? Any fun stories you want to share?
Nothing I can think of, really. I mean, my youth group starts back up when school starts back up. So it starts up with high school, and then it starts up with, obviously, like the club. We have the club for the college students. We have the club for the high school students. So that just started up recently in this last month, and that's been really, really fun.
Awesome.
Really fun.
I miss college for those clubs. It was a good time.
We do, tonight we have
True. Yeah, we have a Bible study.
Bible study that we lead
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, that's true. And it's fun to be engaged in those
Amongst
ways.
soccer and volleyball and all the stuff
Yeah.
for the kids stuff.
all the
in between.
kid activities, which yes, super exciting stuff. Are you in any intramurals at school?
No,
Those
I'm
were always
not.
so fun.
I'm not. I was a horseback rider growing up, so like that took up a lot of my time. But I don't do that as much. So it's like whenever I can, I'll get out there. But that's the sport I would do.
Yeah.
Over
Oh,
anything.
totally.
Nothing else.
I'd be like a jockey.
That
Yeah.
And I could be the
Come on, number 9 horse. Come on, number 9.
Those people are impressive. Like staying on a horse going that fast. That's like,
I know that
Oh.
I could not do that.
yeah.
Just to get that clear.
I always hurt my ass every time I ride a horse. Like, bounce up. I'm like, I don't like this. Like, no.
You would be a terrible
No.
cowboy.
I would not be a good
Yeah.
Not looking in the
No,
one
no,
of us.
no.
No, I would not.
Well, so in our lives, I had to joke because I told Brett this story already, but Lexi hasn't heard it, and neither have our viewers. But our youngest, we call her the queen of the roasters. She's 11, but she is just so good at roasting everyone in our family. And we were talking about her brother, who is 15, homecoming's coming up, and he doesn't want to go. And, I was like, dude, you want to go? You only have 4 homecomings. You should go. And he's like, I don't have a girlfriend. Like, I don't want to go. I'm like, well, you don't have to be dating to take someone. You could go as friends or, go with your group of boys, like whoever. And I was like, your dad took me to prom and we weren't dating at the time. And I told the girls, I'm like, he liked my booty. And without missing a beat, Sienna said, it's because your face was off duty. And I was like, oh my. I was crying. She was just like, and she was like doing her homework, but she like nonchalantly said it.
Oh,
And
that
I
was so
just like,
nonchalant.
what? And she just was like, like, it was just like, and our middle, who usually is she gets roasted the most, was like, now you know how it feels. I was like, right. You are totally right. So I thought that was pretty good. So yeah, she's 11. She's really clever. She's pretty witty. So,
Oh, totally. She'll be good.
so yeah, fun times with kids. But yeah, let's get into our relationship stuff today. So our topic on relationships is love, loyalty, and leashes. How pets strengthen relationships. So we're going to talk about how having pets in a relationship can be a good bond former. So a lot of people think, if you're getting married or you're just dating, a pet might be a good step to maybe leading into eventually kids. So let's talk about our pets to start. We're going to introduce a little furry friend of ours that we have in our family. Stephanie's bringing her in right now. Here she comes. Her name is Honey. Miss Honey is what our daughters call her. Brett can show her on camera. Thank you, Steph. She's a little camera shy. She's like, what's going on? She's like, what's going on? It's people that here she is. So there's the fluffy girl. Her name is Honey. She's supposed to be a mini golden doodle. She clearly, you can see us on camera right now. There's nothing mini about this dog. She's medium golden doodle, but she's super fluffy. And our kids are in love with her, of course, but she's a good little girl, and she likes to make appearances in the office, so brings up a little employee morale. She loves kisses, she loves hugs, she loves people. So yeah, that's Miss Honey. So thank you, Honey. Thanks for being on the show today. Thanks,
That's awesome.
So yeah, so talking about pets in a relationship. So let's first talk about, obviously, this is our pet, but did you have any pets growing up, Lexi, in your household and your family?
I did. We had dogs mainly. So we had a husky growing up. We loved him to death. And then now my dad has another husky and a golden retriever. So that's a main focus.
Yeah.
That takes up a lot of time, I feel like, for dad. And then I had a lizard as well as a kid. I really wanted a lizard for some reason.
Oh, what kind of lizard?
It was a bearded dragon.
So do those get pretty big?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe
Oh yeah, that's
I don't know, maybe like a foot and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Like pretty big.
And what did lizards eat?
Oh my gosh, they had every day I would give them like apples and lettuce, just cut that up. But like once a week you give them crickets.
Oh,
And live crickets.
live
crickets.
Wow.
So every week, well, I guess like you'd have crickets stored somewhere, and we had to put them like in our basement storage room because they were so loud.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hate crickets.
And they're like the small little itty bitty ones. So you would dump them in a cage, and they would hide under like the mat or the little toys he had in there or whatever. And you wouldn't be able to find them. So you'd wake up in the middle of the night, and it was in my room.
Yeah.
So
you'd hear them.
Yes. But you can't find them because they're so
Your lizard
small.
wasn't doing his
No,
job.
it was getting too full. What? Hello?
These are loud.
Right.
That's funny because my brother had a gecko growing up, and it was the same thing. And so I remember going to the pet store, and you had those they were like goldfish bags, but they were like live crickets. And just jumping around in there.
Yes.
But so many times those things got out of the cage. So then we were looking for crickets in the house. But yeah.
Obnoxious.
So no friends came over and no lizard got loose.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about this in the past.
Oh yeah.
My brother used to lose his lizard.
Right.
I completely lost his lizard.
His lizard during sleepovers, and the girls would go, oh, it was so scary. But I obviously grew up with this lizard too, so I wasn't scared.
You were used to it.
I was used
There were
to
some
this
friends that were
lizard.
scared of it. It was weird.
Yeah, they can be a little
It was weird. And I had a leash for him, so I wouldn't put on the leash. I had a leash. But there was one time I was taking off the leash, and I think it got too small for him, and he bit my finger, and he was dangling off my finger, and I didn't pick him up for a week.
Oh, yeah.
It was a long time.
You were like, I'm mad at you.
Yes.
With that.
I would have been like,
It went through my
banging him on the table.
Oh my gosh, it was dangling. I was like,
Oh.
and I was like, this little fifth grader. I didn't know what was going on. Freaked me out.
I don't think I would have a lizard. Yeah, that.
No.
That lizard would
Fast.
be gone.
No.
Well, Spotty, our lizard, got a tumor. Apparently, lizards can get tumors and then die.
Who diagnoses this?
We could see it. It was a tumor that grew on the back end of her tail, and it
It's
was yeah.
Like dogs, you take it,
Yeah.
that,
You can see.
you take a lizard to where?
Our dog died of lung cancer growing up. I was like, dogs can die from lung cancer. We had a golden retriever growing up, and golden retriever had that. I was like, he's chain smoking in the backyard. Going, what is he doing on his off time? So that was really sad. But yeah. So yeah, obviously pets are a lot of fun. Look at the fun stories and memories you have as a child. But yeah, so let's talk about relationships involving pets. So shared responsibility. So when you and as a couple or as a family unit have the shared responsibility of a pet, it makes a stronger bond within your family unit or your relationship because you're caring for that pet together. It's like a team. So in our instances with the kids, they have to take turns feeding the dog, and they have to walk her, and things like that, where it's like, okay, we each have our roles and our responsibilities. So have you had a pet outside of being in college, do you have a pet now, or have you had a pet?
No, my roommate has a cat named Millie.
Okay.
She's very timid, very scared of it. So obviously when she's gone, I'll feed her. But
Yeah.
it's Autumn's cat.
Yeah.
Not my
Right.
cat. So
you don't feel that kind of bond with the cat that you would if it was your own personal cat.
No.
Yeah.
And I had a horse, but she obviously didn't live like in my backyard. So it was like I had to go somewhere to fix her.
Yeah.
Feed her, and usually the barn owners actually fed her. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, not really though. Not recently.
Yeah. But growing up then, so did you have any certain jobs that you would have to be in charge of regarding your pets, or was it like just your dog, or did everyone have a role within the family?
We all had our own chores.
Yeah.
All had our own chores for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that's good. So when you're in a relationship specifically, when you and your partner divide up those responsibilities for a pet, you're practicing partnership on a deeper level. So you're taking care of the dog or feeding it breakfast. Maybe I'm doing dinner. Maybe as a unit, we're going on a walk at night, and that could be our bonding time together. We're having conversations, but we're also taking the dog for a walk. So it allows you to have those deeper connections when you involve a pet. Number 2, built-in stress relief. I want you to touch on this, because would you say after getting Honey, did my stress level go down quite a bit?
Yeah, it actually did, because for you, I'd say struggled, if it's all right to say, struggled some of the time in like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And you're always looking for what the next step is. And you have a million things that you do all throughout your day.
Yeah.
And, having to care for another animal or caring for an animal and having her there with you, like even if you just pet her here or there or take her outside or whatnot, gets your mind off of that quite a bit. And it's actually helped you, I think, more than any other person in our family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life has been a lot better since we've had that dog.
I would agree. So it's funny you brought up the petting, because obviously therapy dogs, cats sometimes too, but obviously they bring them in when there's tragedy or really, stressful situations. They'll bring in animals for those occurrences, because petting a dog or a cat can actually lower cortisol levels. And it can also increase oxytocin, which is the love hormone. So you feel love towards that animal. And it's true. It's like even you'll be sitting there and you'll pet her with your foot. And it's just like, it's just relaxing. It kind of just brings a smile to your face. So less stress equals fewer arguments, which can be totally good for a relationship, obviously. Question though, have you ever had a pet help you through a rough patch with your partner? Do you have any specific things that come to mind where a pet has, or even your horse, where maybe you've kind of been down and you're like, I just need to go for a ride and it'll just take my mind off it?
Totally. Yeah. Totally. With my horse specifically, yes. Like horses are very stress relieving. Like the act of being on the horse and walking and having that kind of bond. I always say like horses are just really big dogs that you just ride super casual. Super nonchalantly ride them, right? But going out for a ride just on like a rough day or a rough weekend is like one of the best things I can do for myself. Yeah. Just to like slow down. I'm a lot like you, like Brett just said, like you're always on the go. You're always doing something. What's the next step? What's tomorrow look like? Like what's on my to-do list for the week? And I struggle with like slowing down and being in the moment, being present. So I have the horse that like forces me to be like, okay, you're here with Nash. Focus on that. Enjoy it. Cause I'm not able to do it ever anymore. So kind of soak it in. And then I also have like a puzzle like in my living room that I like force myself to like sit down and do. Like I have little things, very few things that I force myself to do to like, hey, slow down. It's okay. Rest a little bit. Like, you don't have to be so go, go, go. Like life isn't productive 100% of the time. So absolutely, I would say the horse really, really helps with that.
And just the fact of being outside, same for a dog. You have to take the dog out for a walk. So it's forcing you to get outside and get some fresh air, get some sunshine. It's totally a mood booster for sure. Also, animals can be conflict softeners. Would you agree with that statement?
I would say so.
Yeah. Brett, what would you say?
I don't know how. Like
so
they're not involved in the conflict.
So this is
it's not like I look at the dog and I'm any less mad at you.
What do you think? What do you think?
Like I don't understand that.
So for instance, so let's say a new couple. So you and I got a dog.
I say like, oh, the dog's listening? Don't say that out loud.
But no,
she might hear you.
Not that specifically. But arguments, like you're more conscious of keeping your voice not at a high level because the dog's there, or it might stress out the cat, whatever. So I would say for us, when we were first married, we did get a puppy. And so that kind of being aware, okay, well, don't freak out the puppy. You don't want to scream and yell in front of the puppy. She was like our little baby at the time.
Yeah, that was our first, as you would say, baby.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, this would be good practice for when you have a baby because it's something you have to take care of.
Yeah, and you had never had a dog before. You didn't even have, well, you had rabbits growing up, but
and rabbits,
yeah,
too much.
Outdoor rabbits, yeah. I did too, actually.
Like we actually built.
Outside?
Yeah, it was probably like 8 by, probably maybe 10 by 10, actually.
That's all you have is just rabbits. Yeah, rabbits outside.
Rabbits, and then like they had an enclosed area, and then they had an area they go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had that too.
They had like
our rabbits were huge.
Kind of the, I don't know, the wire, the circle wire stuff that like for chicken coops or whatnot. Like that would be over the top of it. So it's not like they're going to get out.
But they come inside. You're not like ever bringing it all.
No. Oh, well, cool. I can't say we did ever.
You did because it was what happened to your brother. That story. He doesn't know where to
yeah. So one time, this rabbit just didn't like my brother for whatever reason. And it got underneath his bed, and he was so pissed off that it got underneath his bed, and he's like trying to get out. And the name of the rabbit was Hippity. Like, Hippity, get over here. Get it. The rabbit, ninja move, total ninja move, jumped, somehow whipped around, peed while it's jumping right in his freaking eye. And he was so mad.
What a crazy defense mechanism.
Right in his eye. And I'm like, wow, that is precise. Precise good. Like, what just happened? Wow. Needless to say, I think he got the rabbit out pretty quick after that. He was not
talk about the rabbit.
But
so in that case, that would be a stress adder.
Yeah. I don't think that rabbit in particular added any less stress.
Didn't like him very much, but yeah. So that's what they mean by conflict softener. So, some people truly do see their animals as their children. I mean, we see her as a family member. We're not quite on the level of this is our baby, but some people really do, and that's okay. So yeah, I think people are more conscious. Like if your pet's around. Mm-hmm. To kind of tailor how you're talking.
Tone it down.
Yeah, tone it down a little bit. Mm-hmm. So to close it out today, I wanted to specifically bring this up because you brought it up. What are your guys' thoughts on having a pet as a kind of a first step? Let's say you're newly engaged or married couple. What are your guys' thoughts on having a pet kind of introduce you to that? Eventually we want kids, but maybe this is our first step. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Lexi, any ideas? Any comments you want to say there?
Absolutely, yes. I think it's a great idea because you can see like how they parent. Obviously, I think you kind of parent a dog in a way, like how disciplined are you? Like, do you tell them no? Like, do you not tell them no? Do you let them do whatever they want? Like, I feel like you can totally see that side of the person. And how else are you supposed to see that in your partner? Like,
yeah, because you wouldn't have
unless you're having,
do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a baby's the first way to go. I mean, that's a great, like, just get out of the way, lift the Band-Aid off. But I was like, okay, that if it's bad, it's okay.
True.
It's fixable.
True. Yeah, you can work through it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I also think, having a pet kind of gives you an idea of like, if you're mean to animals, I don't know if I really want to get married to you because you could be cruel to an animal who's pretty innocent. Like, I don't know. That could be a red flag for me. So
100%.
Yep.
Yeah. I think of when we first got our puppy. This is so funny because Brett had no idea. Puppies are like infants. They get up in the middle of the night. You have to get up with them. And he had no idea. No. And I'm kind of mean because I did withhold this information.
Yes, I've never had one, and like we get it, and then she tells me that. Just so you know, like we're gonna have to get up. I'm like, there's no word. Like I was never told this information.
Yeah, but you did, and this is the best. So the puppy would get up, get him up. I did get pregnant,
and then I had to.
Perfect. No, I don't think I was pregnant because she was still pretty young. But I remember you took her out one night, and you're like, you were waiting and waiting. She was not peeing, and he's like, come on, I want to go back to bed. Like, this is how you do it. So he whipped it out and he peed to show her this is how you pee outside.
It was in the middle of the night.
I was like, what are you doing? Duh.
And that's how she got potty.
That's so.
Actually, I don't know if that's true or not.
And that's why our son, when he was potty training, was peeing on the side of our house outside. he would get off the bus. No, so he had been past potty training. He was a kindergartner. He would get off the bus. He had to pee. Instead of coming inside, he's peeing on the side of the house. I'm like,
As opposed to
I wonder who we learned that from.
well, you shouldn't do that.
Okay, so there we go.
Right.
So pets are a great thing as a first step to a relationship, we think. So we are totally pro pet. Let's get into our finance stuff today. What do you got for us?
Okay. We are going to cover some financial firsts. What we mean by that is, what story do you have behind this, and what lesson can be learned from some of these things? So, for instance, first paycheck. So, Lexi, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What is the first paycheck you got? Or, have you ever, oh my gosh, I have to pay taxes on this, or I didn't realize I had to pay taxes, or I'm just going to go splurge and spend all this money. Like, tell us.
Okay. There's kind of a lot to that, I feel like, from me. So I will say that I started working in detasseling. And for people who are not in Nebraska or in the Midwest, period, they might not know what detasseling is. It's like you do it when you're like in middle school, and you like go out in these fields and you like detassel corn. It's the craziest thing.
What does detasseling mean? Like, do you take the top?
Yes. You like, I don't even know how to like put it into words. You might.
They're like, they're like the little, they're kind of like a star, right? Like,
Yes.
you just pull them off the top.
Didn't you detassel?
I detasseled for one day and then I got fired.
Fired?
Well, because I was really short and I would bend the stock.
yeah.
And they didn't like that. So they're like, well, they didn't like fire me, but they're like, you don't have to come back. So
You aren't that good, so
you're
don't come back. Dang it.
Wear
Wish I got
stilts
that.
next time,
I didn't get
please.
that.
Please wear stilts.
so it's benefits of being short, I guess.
Yeah, so that was my first job, like when I was
Okay.
14. And that paycheck, I saved it because my math teacher at the time was like, if you save it, you could do this, you can save for college. And he was like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna save it. I'm not gonna spend it. Why would I spend it? Also, I was 14. What are you gonna spend it on? I don't got bills at the time. So I didn't spend it at all. I saved all of that. And that felt like a lot of money at the time. And then my actual first job at 16 was a barista at Scooters. So that paycheck was fine. The taxes were withheld from it. So I didn't have to pay any taxes. I wasn't making a ton of money, but it was fun at the time. But I will say, once I started serving, I was at a restaurant. I was making, my money was cash. So I was just collecting cash tips. There's no taxes withheld. And when I realized I had to owe a good amount in taxes, I was not super happy.
Darn the government.
Happens. Living.
How dare you?
And the thing is, there's a lot of people that way that don't realize that, oh my gosh, I have to pay X amount in taxes. And, there's certain thresholds.
We were servers. We were naive like that too, probably at a point. Maybe not so much you. You were
Yeah.
finance major, but
I knew how to pay taxes. Yes. But how about you, Linz? Did you have any first jobs that you had any issues at?
Issues as far as like,
You got money, or did you save it?
I think I'm with Lexi on that one. I was a babysitter. That's where I first started. And I mean, this was, listen, this was back in the 90s, mind you. I had no business probably being this young babysitting, but I was like 11, maybe 12 at the time. And mind you, it was the neighbors across the street. So my parents were like home. So I was alone with these kids, but my parents were there in case of an emergency. But yeah, no, I was like, wow, this is so much money. I think it was like $20 at the time, like for like 8 hours of work. Now, I don't know. It was like very small.
Cheap labor.
It was very cheap labor. But yeah, I mean, as a kid, you get that first paycheck or the cash and you're like, wow, this is amazing. But I'm with you. I saved it. What was your first job?
My first job, paperboy.
That's right.
I think I was, honestly, I think it was 8 or 9 when I started doing papers, like super young. Yeah. So I've been
Wow.
working since that age. And I would have to get,
totally.
you have to wake up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, go get the papers, bring them in, put rubber bands around them on days that rain. You got to put them in a plastic bag, and then you got to load up your, I don't even know what they call it, like your little pack that you have in front and the back. Yeah. And then walk around, and that's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy for a little guy.
Yeah. Did you ride a bike?
It depends. I don't know if I did.
I was going to say, I was always impressed with kids that could like ride and no.
Actually, you know what? I think it depends, because I had
Cool.
a couple different routes along the way. So the first route was closer, but then after that, I had to drive or ride like 4 or 5 blocks. And then I had to go like up in the apartments, apartment complex.
Gotcha.
But
Wow.
Yep. So I didn't really save. I mean, I did. So I had some money, but it was cash. Like at the time it was cash. You didn't have to worry about taxes on that because you'd actually, that was back when you had to go collect it yourself. And, but I mean, I saved what I could and then, you know, I would go buy something cool. So I didn't.
Yeah, you were really young. You want to save, you want to buy candy.
That was back when the Husker football was like really awesome, you know, back in the 90s, and might be like a new Husker magazine on how we won the championship or something.
Yeah.
That's what I'd buy. But
Lexi wasn't born when we were good.
No, I was not. I have not experienced that one yet.
Yeah.
Maybe this one.
Yes.
This year could be the year. We'll see.
We're like, this is the year.
We said every year.
But the moral of the story is, as you're looking and you say, hey, this might be my first time like being graduated from college, and now I got a real big boy or a big girl paycheck, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to pay, you know, $1,200 in taxes. Like, geez, I would just love to get $1,200 a paycheck before, but now I got to pay $1,200 in taxes. And I remember Matt, we went on vacation.
Oh yeah.
He's like, he told me, he goes, yeah, you're gonna have like this new, like what you got right here in your paycheck. He's like, later on down the road, you're just gonna pay that in taxes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I would pay that in taxes, that'd be great, because that means I'm gonna make so much money. And he just realized, like, your first check was like $1,200, but I was like so jacked up about the $1,200 getting it. And moral of the story is, the sooner you can get those good habits going of saving, putting some of it away. I know if you're a Christian type person, you want to tithe and like, hey, I want to put the 10% away and then live on the rest of it, and then start saving for retirement, start saving for a vehicle, start saving for a house, any of that stuff. The sooner you can get that habit started, the better off you're going to be. So that's kind of the moral of the story on that one. All right. So next, we're going to talk credit card. First, credit card. Lexi, do you have a credit card?
I do.
Okay. Why did you get your credit card?
Mainly just for my credit score. I know I was young. I needed to set it up well. It was all for my mom. This is not coming from my brain at that age, 18.
Okay.
It was not thinking of that at that time. My mom told me to get it to get my credit score going, and because I knew I needed to like apply for an apartment, and obviously a house comes into play and all that stuff. So she told me to get one. So I got one. But she always told me, don't overdo it. You cannot spend the money that you don't have. Like, pay it off every month as much as you can. That's what I've been doing. I've been paying it off every month. No matter what it is, I'll pay it off several times a month. Just if I have something due, I'll pay it off. I mainly buy like groceries and gas with it, because that's what the rewards are, is like groceries and gas. But it comes in handy for sure if I do need to make a bigger purchase. But no matter what, I always pay it off in full.
That's good.
So yeah, it is good. Thanks to my mom. Yeah.
That's the great habit that everybody should try to get into, is, you know, don't charge unless you have the money to, you know, pay it off every single month. Now, granted, you might be in a situation, there's always exceptions to the rule, like, oh, something really bad happened, or some health event happened, or this was a really unforeseen car expense. But we try to say you want about 3 to 6 months of your gross annual earned income liquid. So to make it simple, you make $100,000 a year. You say that you want to have about anywhere from 25 to 50,000 liquid, available, accessible. That doesn't mean just in your like checking account or savings account. It could be stocks, could be mutual funds, just could be anything that within about a week you can get that liquid available money back into your hands in case something bad does happen. How about you, Linz? Have you had any credit card prior to me? Any credit card stuff?
I mean, I'm with Lexi, same thing. My mom's like, you need to get a credit card for your credit score. Same thing. I didn't have any at the time. So I think I got like an Old Navy card, or, you know, Dillard's. I don't know. At the time, it was just like the store credit card. And I didn't spend very much on it because I didn't have a lot of money. So I would buy a few Old Navy shirts and call it a day.
Did you pay it off every month?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Good.
For sure.
Yeah, because otherwise you can get to 18, 26, 25%. And people get in the world hurt. They're like, I'm going to pay the minimum payment. Please don't.
Yeah.
If you ever looked at it, you're like, oh, okay, in 15 years, you'll pay this off. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of interest that you actually pay. So kind of the order of saving money should be like, hey, you got your first job, save up 3 to 6 months of your gross annual earned income. And then from there, start putting money into those retirement accounts. Now, granted, you always want to do the maximum match inside the retirement account. So even if you're working toward getting that 3 to 6 months and you start that new job, start doing whatever the maximum match is. And then from there, you're like, all right, I can start doing Roths. I can start doing it, other liquid investments or other even retirement investments. But you need to get those basics done first So if you do have a big expense, you don't have to use a credit card for that. And that's kind of the moral of the story on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here. First big purchase. Lexi, how about have you had a first big purchase yet?
I have.
You haven't yet?
I haven't, besides like school. Like school's my big purchase.
Okay. What do you have in mind for what your first big purchase might be?
I would say either a house or a car. I don't need a car anytime soon.
Okay.
I'll be fine for a while. I think I could see myself buying a house before a car, for sure. But that could be in 5 years. That could be in 10 years. I mean, don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Okay. Linz, have you had any, or what was your first big purchase?
I mean, I did buy a car after college because I did need one. Mine was very old, and it was gonna be dying.
That would be with us since we were together.
We were together, correct? But I don't think we were married yet when I bought it. I don't think because we weren't married yet after college.
Yeah. So you were a senior in high school, and I was a freshman in college.
Correct.
When we met.
Yes, correct.
So shortly after that, yeah.
But yeah, I would say my first big purchase before marriage was the car.
And did you pay that off immediately? Did you have a loan on it? How did you do that?
I think I had a loan, but not much. I paid a good chunk of it, and then I think I owed a little bit. I mean, I paid it within, I think, 6 months. I don't think it was very long.
Do you think you should make impulse decisions on vehicles or houses or whatnot? Or is that something you think, we should think through, look it up, do research, other things of that nature?
That, yeah, you should definitely not. Right?
I wouldn't want to be. You don't really plan to be impulsive.
Yeah. Unless you're in dire need of a car, that's different.
Right.
Is Brett an impulsive vehicle buyer? Absolutely.
He is.
Well, I should rephrase. You when you know you need one, you will be impulsive. So it's not like he'll just be like, on a random Tuesday, I'm going to just go out and get a car.
Got it.
He did need one, but rather than shop around, he doesn't have time.
He's like,
He's like,
Works.
I'm going to drive this. Okay, I'm going to negotiate. I'm done. I'm like, you've looked at one vehicle. And he's like, I don't care. I like it. Drives well. I don't have time to be here. I don't know. And I am not like that. I am like, let's look around a bit.
options. I need at least 6
See
options.
if there's cheaper options.
Right.
Yes, better options. He's not that person.
Yeah, that's what I talked about. I was like, I got a story for this. We were talking about this earlier. Yeah. So I got a black truck, and I had a black truck prior to this, but you always wanted me to have a truck. You're like,
We live in the country,
yeah, but you thought you're like, oh,
and they're
it's
sexy.
It's sexy when guys have a truck, like one truck. And my answer was like, we've had big SUVs. We've never had an issue. It's always been able to fit everything in there. Like, we have no problems. We don't need a truck.
But we haul stuff too.
So then we're out. So we knew that we needed a vehicle, and owning a business tax purposes, I needed a vehicle, and I didn't need a truck in particular. But here we are at the dealership.
Yeah.
And the car salesman's like, all right, well, let's go over and look at these other vehicles. And like, you stayed back with the kids right now. We're just going to get a couple vehicles and we'll come back. You're like, yeah, that's fine. So then I come back, or actually I get there.
Yeah.
And we're looking for something else, but we pull up to the other dealership just right across the street, pull up, and I'm like, ooh, what's that? And the guy's like, the truck? I'm like, yeah, that looks cool.
And why did it look cool?
It was a black truck, and it had cool rims. It had the cool rims.
Like
the rims called his name.
Yeah.
All things.
The rims, and I'm like, oh, that's...
to make an impulse decision.
So then I drive it back over. And
I didn't think it was you because I was like, you wouldn't be driving a truck.
yeah, and I get in, and I was like, hey, let's go look at this. She's like, did you drive that truck? I'm like, yeah, that was me. I drove the truck. And then she's like, I thought you didn't want one. I'm like, yeah, but look cool. She's like, okay, let's get in. So get the kids in there. We're doing a little test drive, and the kids are like, we want the truck. We want the truck. They're like singing it in the back.
They did.
So we get back, and
they're impulsive as he is.
and then
Right.
like trying to negotiate. She's like, hey, should we just... I'm like, I'm tired. Like, we just looked it up in the blue book. Like, it's pretty close to what they say it should be. Whereas, like, I don't want to go look at more. Like, this is what I want. Let's just get it.
The rims.
And then we got it. So then the next day, we got the truck, took it home or whatnot. The next day, one of my buddies asking me, he's like, oh, I see you got a new truck. Like, what'd you get?
A black one.
I'm like, well, it's black.
It's
It
nice.
drives really nice. And they're like, well, this is this LTZ or I'm like, I don't know what any of that means. I was like, it drives nice and it's black and it's got good radio. Like,
so that's why I laughed, because a couple episodes ago, our daughter didn't think he could change a tire. This is why.
I
changed it. Remember you saying that?
So anyway, I had to call. I was like, you know what? Let me find out. I call up Lindsey. I'm like, what did we buy yesterday? So she had to say what we bought. So I'm not a big car guy.
The Chevy that you have now?
It was
the previous Chevy. Yeah.
Okay.
So not a big car guy. I just
obviously not.
It just needs to drive nice and look cool. Yep. And then I'm good.
So there you go. Moral of the story, don't be impulsive.
Yeah, don't be impulsive like Brett buying a vehicle.
Correct.
Go look ahead of time.
Yes.
Do your research. That is what you should do.
Don't do it because it's pretty.
Right.
Is what you should do.
Yeah, the rims, not the pretty front door of your house. No, none of that.
Right.
It's kind of
practical.
like what the parents do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. Do that here.
You didn't teach.
I didn't do that correctly in that, but I still like my
But
truck.
I do. Yeah. So when I needed my SUV, we did shop around because I am not impulsive. I'm like, listen.
Because we didn't find any we liked right then. Otherwise, I'd done the same thing.
For an SUV, too.
Yeah.
I kind of have to be nitpicky with them.
Yes. And living in the country. I'm like, you can't just have any pretty vehicle. You need a durable vehicle. Yeah.
Have some tires that can withstand it.
Correct.
And some good rims.
Yes. Yes. Good rims, of course.
So anyway, that's good enough for now. That's good for some financial first and some do's and don'ts of financial burden.
Now that we're still talking on the budgeting and everything. So what would your advice be for college kids? So you're going to just be graduating. You're going to be getting a professional job here shortly. How are you going to kind of structure? So you mentioned doing the house, but like, would you recommend maybe paying off those student loans first before, like how are you going to structure financially for yourself specifically going into your first job?
To prepare for the house?
Yes.
To prepare for the house?
Yes.
I would say
post-college.
Definitely. Yes. Obviously right now saving is tricky, but I say save as much as you can. Of course, I always budget out my expenses now, but obviously expenses will change quite a bit once I'm graduating. I'm working full-time. I don't have school. Like paychecks are going to look different. Expenses are going to look different. So if you could lay out as much as you can what your expenses look like and then what your incomes look like and lay that out just at the beginning of the month to give you an idea of what you have left over, what you have for groceries or what you have for free money, like what can you put, like where can you put it basically. I think like saving like 10%, 20% is always good too, but sometimes it's hard to just like always stick with that. I don't have 10% every time I get a paycheck. Like, okay, well, I get $20. Just whatever you can put it in savings, put it in a investment account, whatever you got. And then once I go full time and for the house, I have already a pretty good savings. So I'm hoping just to continue to fund that. Hopefully once I'm working more, I can save even more money than I am now. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
That's kind of my plan, I guess, is just to continue to save. And then obviously before I get married, obviously I'll find a partner hopefully. And then hopefully then marriage and then the house. Like I'm kind of like, I want to have roommates for a while. I definitely will have roommates just because I feel like it's okay to have 2 or 3 roommates when you're in your 20s. Like that's what it's kind of there for. I don't want to be living on my own anytime soon. I don't want to be paying $1,500 in rent all by myself. It might look cool on paper, but I don't want to be struggling financially just to look cool. Yeah. So totally sacrifice there.
I get it.
Yeah.
You're like, I can look cool without that.
Yeah.
Right. I got to look
cool.
And you're going to look cool with having more money because you can divide it out.
Exactly.
Sharing it out.
Exactly.
That's good advice.
So one thing I would say too is, if that's you and if you're trying to save, what you can do is as you're getting your paycheck in, set up a separate like savings account or another account that money could go into. And this isn't like once you get a full-time job and you have a consistent paycheck coming in, not really as you're working part-time because that can vary sometimes, but as you get a consistent paycheck coming in, like I want to build up that 3 to 6 months of gross annual earned income and keep that liquid. So as you're getting that money in, you can say, all right, I got my paycheck of $4,000. I'm just making up $4,000 this month. And that's what went into my checking account. And then you pay your expenses from there. But you can take and say, hey, I know I get paid on the 1st of every month. So therefore, on the 4th or 5th, I'm going to have it auto to have $500 go right from my checking account to the savings account. And it's a forced savings habit. And then have that to where it's not like, oh, I can just like sweep it right back and forth. Like you don't want to have it. Like it's even good to have it at a different bank.
Yeah.
So therefore, it makes it a little harder to get to, or I have to go log in at some other website and get it transferred back. Like, it's kind of a little bit of a pain. So you have that habit saved up, and therefore you're now living off of $3,500 rather than living off of $4,000.
Right.
So that's a great way to do it for anybody that's trying to save some money up.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
And if they have other questions for you, financial questions, or maybe some pet comments, questions, where can they ask those things?
Well, you go to our website, financiallyforeverafter.com. You can ask questions. Go to that website. You can ask questions or leave a comment in there. Or you can apply for a 15-minute consultation with either myself or one of my advisors to help you out and answer any financial questions that you have. Where else can they find us?
And we are also on all the social media platforms, so you can definitely leave a comment there. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
What are all of those platforms?
YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we have a website, which you've already mentioned.
Do we do Twitter?
I don't think
It's called X.
X, yes, X. No, we
don't do that.
Not be X then.
Don't go there.
We're good. Yeah.
Don't go there. Forget I said that.
So you can tell he's definitely.
Oh, yeah, I do all the social media, of course.
Definitely.
But thank you again for joining us on another episode of Financially Forever After, a love and money podcast.
Securities offered through Great Point Capital, LLC, member SIPC. Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Acadia Life Insurance. Shunkwiler Financial is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, acronym AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Acadia Life Insurance are not subject to investment advisor requirements. AEWM and Acadia Life Insurance are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Shunkwiler Financial is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Shunkwiler Financial.